Welcome back, my wasted youth. This is Rev, and I'm going to take you through my favorite in the Pokemon series. This is Pokemon Special Pikachu Edition, more commonly known as Pokemon Yellow. Released on October 19th of 1999, this game was released in North America one full year after Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, as well as the anime series, and is most people's introduction to the Pokemon series. Now, since this is the first Pokemon game that a lot of people played, I figure it only fitting that I read the introduction. Hello there. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Oak. People call me the Pokemon Professor. This world is inhabited by creatures called Pokemon. For some people, Pokemon are pets. Others use them for fights. Myself, I study Pokemon as a profession. First, what is your name? Well, now, this game is based on the anime series, so we're going to call him Ash. Right, so your name is Ash. This is my grandson. He's been your rival since you were a baby. What is his name again? Well, we're going to call him Gary. That's right, I remember now. His name is Gary. Ash, your very own Pokemon legend is about to unfold. A world of dreams and adventures with Pokemon awaits. Let's go. Ash is playing the SNES. I wonder what he's playing. Now, at the time that Pokemon was being made, there were two games that were produced for the Game Boy that, using the link cables, you could trade all the wildlife and little items that you had collected back and forth. Now, one of those games was Legend of the River King, and the other was, of course, Harvest Moon. So it just kind of makes sense that Ash would be playing Harvest Moon on his SNES. Crammed full of books. 4 Boys on Railroad Tracks. I've seen that. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, what's Mom got to say? Leave home someday. Said so on Lady, if you're believing everything you see on TV, well, remember that movie we saw yesterday?
I recall Central Park in fall. How you tore your dress. What a mess, I confess.
Right. Well, I'm missing some school and I'm taking the car. Bye, Mom. Ash's house, and right next door is a house that looks identical, and it's Gary's. Inside is Gary's sister. Grandpa's lab, huh? It's a big map and it's useful? Oh, it is too. Now, if you've never played the game before, I would suggest you actually take that map with you. You don't need to. Shades of your journey await. But, it's probably a good idea. I mean, once you've played the game a little bit, you'll find out that really it's just a big space waster. Gramps isn't around. Get a Pokemon for me. I bet this is it. Maybe. Save option on the menu screen. Push start to open the menu. It's encyclopedia-like, but the pages are blank. And that's always good. Well, I'm going to go hunt down Oak. Now, fortunately, I know where he is. So, let's get him. And he found us. That was close. Wild Pokemon live in tall grass. Okay. And just to prove the point, we get attacked immediately by a wild Pikachu. And here we see a Pokemon for the very first time in the game. Now, if you've played Pokemon Red or Pokemon Blue, you'll notice the sprite animation has changed quite a bit. They wanted to try and redesign it to make it look a lot more like Ken Sugimori's work, who is the guy who is designing images for all the strategy guides. So now all the back sprites that they use throughout the course of the game are still the same as they use in Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. But since they wanted to more resemble the strategy guides and the anime, then they decided to redesign all the sprites that way. Now the other thing is that Pokemon Yellow is the first game, and as far as I know, the only game for Pokemon that you don't get a choice of which one of 3 starters do you want. With Pokemon Yellow, you're stuck with Pikachu. And since that really was the selling point for the whole game, that's probably kind of a good thing. Now, if you don't know who Pikachu is, well, you've obviously been living under a rock for about the past 12 years. And so this is Pikachu. You've got a level 5 electric type with 2 attacks. One of them is Thunder Shock, which deals electric damage and a small chance, I think it's 10%, of paralyzing your opponent. Now its other attack is Growl, which reduces your opponent's attack. Now usually Pikachu will be able to evolve into Raichu through use of a Thunderstone, but in this version of the game he just refuses to do it. And Pokemon Yellow introduces something that gets used later on in Silver and Gold, and that is the happiness concept, where depending on what you do throughout the course of the game, Pikachu's happiness will actually get much better. And in this case, gaining a level, using an item, or challenging a gym leader will actually make Pikachu happier. The magic number you want to try and hit is 36. Any combination of gaining a level, using an item, and challenging a gym leader equal to 36 will get him as happy as you need to be for events later on in the game to transpire. So now let's continue with Oak's battle against what is ultimately the face of Pokemon. So he throws a Pokeball, and without weakening it at all, Pikachu was caught. Well, it makes things very, very convenient for us. And we learn that Pokemon can be caught in tall grass. So now we're supposed to follow Oak. He'll take us back to his lab. And Gary's fed up with waiting. Gary just shows his impatience. Yes, I see the ball on the table. Called a Pokeball and has a Pokemon inside? Okay. You just wait, Gary. I'm taking this one. And I guess I'm not taking this one. Well, that's okay. I didn't want that one anyway. And so now Oak is going to give us the Pokemon he caught earlier. It's wild and not tame yet, and so Ash receives the Pikachu, just like the anime. Now, I actually think that this is probably a good spot for me to end it. Thank you, time limits. So, thank you very much for watching. This has been Rev, and I will see you next time when we face off for the very first time against our rival. So long.